Welcome to the video lecture with database security. I think it should be fairly obvious to anybody interested in IT that security is a huge issue and a huge topic. People who are associated with security, especially in today's environment, get paid a great deal of money. One, because their skill set is very specialized. Two, to have the level of security that they need in order to enforce the security requires them to be a very, very trusted employee. So database security, suffice to say, huge topic. As far as database security is concerned, we need to protect our data against either accidental or intentional loss. We need to protect it against destruction and damage. And we need to protect it against misuse. This, of course, has been made even more difficult due to internet access. There's a balance. I need to let customers see information about their orders and whatnot, which means they need access to my database. At the same time, I need to protect my database against people accessing it when they're not supposed to. So this is a huge issue. Obviously, there are ways around it, or else websites wouldn't be able to function at all. But let's take a look at where threats can come from and what we actually have to, when it comes to database security, protect. So first of all, there's the database management system at the core of everything. We need to be able to secure the database management system. Outside of that, we need to protect the operating system that the database management system operates within. And depending on what operating system that is, there are different security measures that you have to take. There is the physical hardware associated with the machine that's running the operating system that houses the database management system. There is the network that allows access to the hardware and therefore the operating system, and through that the database management system. So we need to protect against misuse through the network. So again, that's your communication links. When it comes to the hardware, we need to protect the physical room that the hardware is in. And that's not just, that's just not protecting it from someone walking in and walking away with it. We have to protect that equipment room in that we need to keep it temperature controlled. We can't let that hardware overheat and become destroyed that way. So again, this is misuse and protection against destruction. And if we have an equipment room inside, if we have all of our stuff inside an equipment room or a server farm, we need to secure the building that houses that room. So again, we have multiple avenues that we have to protect ourselves against data security threats. What threats do we have? So, I mean, the worst kind, or the kind that's really you can't plan against, is accidental loss. Either you got an employee that accidentally issues an SQL command that damages your data, or you have a software failure where the database management system or the operating system causes some kind of disruption of service, or corruption of data, or loss of files. Or you can have a hardware failure where the physical machine crashes, a disk crashes, memory sticks fail, anything like that. And along the lines of hardware, you're talking about network, you're talking about the availability of your data. So the accidental loss is terrible because it's very difficult to protect yourself against human error. For instance, you never know when software is going to fail you, and hardware is designed to fail. It will invariably fail at some point in time. So the next level is theft and fraud, which I think speaks for itself. Loss of privacy and confidentiality. Typically, privacy is associated with personal data. Confidentiality is more of corporate data, corporate secrets, things of that nature. Loss of data integrity. So if the data is damaged in any way, that can almost be probably the worst of them all, because everything else is running. It's just that now the data that's coming out in reports doesn't make any sense. And trying to figure out where that damage was done can be very difficult. Or a loss of availability. Now I just can't get to my data. So what do I do about that? Those are threats to your data. And graphically, we can represent that as, we have our public trying to use TCP/IP to get to a router that eventually gets to our firewall, and then we need some kind of intrusion detection system in place that's going to monitor communications when someone's through our firewall to our web farm and to our business systems. And I'm going to talk about that a little more in the subsequent video lecture on web security. So I'm going to probably start that here on this slide.